I start to bend, run out of ankle range of motion.
Yeah.
Now the only way to get lower
and you lean. Right.
So then obviously you're putting excessive stress in the lower back. Now it's different from up there, but the head will be forward
dropping down, right? Yeah. Not, yeah. So basically the head doing press up, not the arm.
Well, it's just.
Hi everyone, it's Master Wong here again. I'm talking to you about bring you from Tyton Health and performance into health and fitness side with Master Wong here to go through you some problem you might have. A lot of people training and do exercise in the martial arts side and everything else, but there are a lot of them asking, is it I do this exercise correctly, that side correctly, and everything else. Now, as you know, in this world, it's nothing perfect, okay? No such thing is perfect, and you're able to do whatever suits you. But in training side, it's a lot of things you're doing is because you use it for different things. So no such thing as specific. You have to do this way, you have to do this way. A lot of people do martial arts the same. Everybody said, oh, you do this move wrong, you do that move wrong. Maybe wrong for you, but it's right for them. So it's very difficult to answer this. But today, I got somebody asking me, and I have Tyron coming in from Tyton Health Fitness here. He will talk to you a little bit about, and somebody asking me today about the weight training and stuff like that on exercise. It's a good exercise on a form, right or wrong way of doing it. And
so like what types of things should you look at with regards to your form?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. The form or do the exercise.
How do you know if you're doing it
correctly? How do you know you're doing correctly? Yeah. So what is your opinion on that?
It's quite a hard one in reality unless you have good body awareness.
Right.
So I find with a lot of my new clients these days is quite often they'll come in and I'll say, oh, just tip forward from your hips and keep the curve in your back.
So they just go like that, don't they?
And instantly they'll
go like that. Curve the back, innit?
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're not, no, keep your chest up. So then they'll go.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Right.
Like a lot of people, just where they haven't trained for so long, lose what we call body awareness.
Right.
So sometimes you have to regress yourself back and start small.
Right.
Go back to the beginning. But let's say that you're fairly good in the gym and your general technique is okay. The main thing you want to look out for if we're doing heavy loaded weight training is the most important thing generally is maintaining what we call neutral spinal alignment. So when you're squatting, deadlifting, you don't want to be rounding out your back. Instead, the movement as you tip will come from the hips. It's all in the hips.
So if you're doing in this angle, that they can see it. This straight angle for me here, that's it. So they can see it a lot there. What do you mean by that?
I was lined up with it, don't worry.
Oh, did I? Did you? This is the problem. I haven't got that much awareness, so that's the problem. Okay.
So yeah, the movement. What you don't want. So if I grab a kettlebell for it, let's just use a baby one. Now, from here, if I'm doing just a standard deadlift, what you don't want to happen is obviously this. You don't want to curve your back, because then when you pick it up, obviously it is a back exercise, but you're going to be using predominantly your back. But the problem with a rounded back is you put the stress on the ligaments.
Right.
And you increase the pressure in the spinal discs.
Right.
So as you tip forward, the discs are then pushed back, and that's when you're then at risk of spinal injury. Right. So what you want to do is tip from the hips. So what you do is allow your hips to move back as you tip from your hips, and you keep the curve in your lower back. Right. Now, if you get to a point where you can no longer keep the curve, you feel like you're losing this arch here, what will then happen is you will bend the knees, rather than keep going and round out. You get to here, bend the knees, now I can keep that curve in my back and lower myself down. Right. So then from here, the chest will stay up, I drive, and then drive my hips through. Right. Then you reverse the movement to go back to the floor. Right. So it's just here, like so. So there's things like spinal alignment, it's very important.
So what you're saying, this is good form.
That's good gym form.
Good gym form, okay.
Now the problem you have in martial art, of course, is it's a very dynamic sport. You can't maintain perfect form the whole time. Because often your position is dictated by your opponent and his strength as well. Right. So then it's a case of you want to gradually do some type of imperfection training. Right. So you will do stuff where you allow yourself to round out more, but of course you have to reduce the load. You wouldn't go, oh, I can deadlift 150 kilo now,
in bad form.
So this week I'll do it with bad form in order to train my ligamentic system. Right. You would have to still drop the weight way back and then gradually build it up, because ligaments take a lot longer to develop and strengthen than muscles do. Often up to 6 times longer. Right. So you've got to respect that fact and bring things back and start off slowly. Build the weight up as you go.
Right. So 3 basic exercise that you find into the martial arts side that people can look out for to make it help them to improve.
So the 3 main ones, everybody loves to, well, I say everybody loves to bench press, unfortunately.
Right.
They should love to squat. As in, not because it's the best exercise, but for overall strength of the body, the squat is much more beneficial than bench pressing, for instance.
Right.
Bench can have a good carryover, but generally the squat would be better.
Okay.
So what you want to watch out for is make sure you have very good ankle mobility. That's the first thing, because what happens if you don't have, if I just grab this for now, what would happen if I do have good ankle mobility, I can drop straight down into a squat and up and back up.
Right.
The problem is if my ankles are restricted, I start to bend, run out of ankle range of motion.
Yeah.
Now the only way to get lower
and you lean. Right.
So then obviously you'll put an excessive stress in the lower back. Now it's different if you're trying to train that, but most people aren't.
Right.
So they will go here, bum gets pushed back, or they end up doing this, which isn't really a squat. The squat, you should be able to sit straight down and come straight up.
Right.
So squat is obviously a very good exercise for general strength, but make sure keep that chest up nice and high.
Right.
That's why it often helps to do something like a kettlebell by placing it under the chin or a dumbbell, anything like that. It forces you to keep the head in alignment with the chest up. See? Whereas if it's down here, you can still lean.
Right.
So keep it up nice and high, just under the chin.
So good form.
Now, good form.
Good form. Okay.
Nice straight back. That's the main thing. The other thing you want to look out for, particularly with lower body exercises, is knee alignment. So what you want, for instance, if we're doing a lunge or a split squat, as you lower yourself down, you want to make sure the center of your kneecap remains in line with at least your second toe.
So not like this, not like
that.
that.
That's right. It's not allowed inside your big toe at all. So second toe alignment, straight down, straight up. Okay, not any of this happening. Particularly if you're doing dynamic movements where you're moving around a lot, you don't want too much of that happening because it will start to force your toe in. And it puts a lot of stress on the inside of the knee, so you want to avoid that. So good shin alignment with regards to knee position and foot position.
What's the next one?
And the final one, often it's the head. I find a lot of people do this. They'll stand and do their stuff, and the head position's way wrong. Or they'll do press-ups, for instance. So I don't know if you can see from up there, but the head will be forward
dropping
here.
down, So basically the head doing press-up, not the arm.
Well, it's just that you overwork the neck muscles and you train the wrong muscles. And the problem is you develop what we call forward head posture, which is this, which obviously isn't very attractive, and it's not ideal when it comes to the stresses.
Because it stand out, innit? If you like this, it's definitely stand out when you're walking, innit?
Well, the only thing it is good for is you can see round the corner before you have to actually walk around.
Okay, fair enough.
Other than that, really, it's of no benefit. So you want good posture, not because you always want to walk around like this, but posture when it comes to general weight training, unless you're training deliberately wrong. Posture is the main thing. So it's the chest up nice and high, and the head comes back, and the chin is tucked. Okay, and in your training, you want to overemphasize it.
What do you mean by that?
So normal posture would say be here. When I'm training, I push my chest up more, bring my head back because there will always be fallout. You're always going to fall back into your old stature pattern. So you overcompensate in your training, knowing full well that you will fall out of that. So overdo it basically. Force the chest up high. Make sure that it comes from your upper spine, not your lower back. And then head back, chin tuck. And you would do your chest press or your shoulder press, whatever it is you're doing. From there, same with your squatting, etc. Just overemphasize your good posture.
Okay. So that is what is it need to be understand. Basic thing you need to learn. Make sure your posture. That's why in our training all the time we talk about posture, positioning. Make sure you're upright. Make sure you're in line. Make sure you have a good, nice posture. Otherwise, you're gonna have a problem. Because if you mess up your back, and you know what, when you mess up your back, it's a lot of things you cannot do. So this is important to understand. If you like this kind of thing here, underneath this, they've got a lot of information. Go to his website and he's write a lot of different things in blog because everybody's different. So if you got certain problem, you might don't understand, don't know, you go in his blog and he will explain you more into it and helping you to understand in specific. This is very general information about. But if you want to know more about, then underneath here. And otherwise, you need to do is subscribe to me before your enemy know how to do all this nice posture and you like this. And first, it look ugly for your girlfriend to look at you like this. And second, he look like this. And if you got a nice, pretty girlfriend, you know what happened? He will take away from you because he want to go with her, not with you. So, it's the answer to the question for you. If you like this, then spend some time to practice. I will see you on the next lesson.